Good evening. Happy 4th of July, Friday weekend. Welcome to Moments with Mary. I extend thanks and more thanks to our healthcare professionals, essential workers, and caregivers for continuing to take care of us. But please remember, we must be cautious and take care of ourselves, because you belong to you, and you are all that you have. So take care of yourself. So again, today I will make it short because I know that you are getting ready for the 4th of July weekend. But I will share a few pieces from Margaret Walker Alexander's collection for my people. And I'll only share a bit of her piece for my people because it's rather long. And I know you have probably other things to do. And I'll also share pieces from Carol Boston Weatherford's The Bridge. So the first piece will come from Carol's book, and it's entitled Mother Africa Speaks to Civilization. Child, I knew you from the first, when you were but a glimmer in some God's heart. You stirred inside me, yearning toward dawn. I knew you when you were without a yesterday, when all you had were tomorrows, when your blood steamed wild as the beast, and your feet were bare, and the earth was your bed, and the sun your cloak. I knew you before word or the drum, before fire or the hunt, before trade or tribe. I cradled you when the apes mocked your baldness and then looked on amazed. When you walked erect from the gorge, child, you are mine as much as Mount Kilimanjaro, the Sahara and the Serengeti, as much as the Baobab and the bush. I love the lion, the zebra, the gazelle, and the impala. But you are my pride, and though you are my favorite, I let you go out into the world, for I knew as well as I know you that you would do great things. Keep me in your heart, and like a long ago song, whose lyrics are lost, but melody lingers. You will hear me whispering in a language that belongs to no nation, but to all humanity. Here are your beginnings. Here is your home. And that's Mother Africa Speaks to Civilization. And the next piece is Remember the Bridge. Remember the bridge that your ancestors crossed, the sweat that was spilled and the lives that were lost. Remember the slaves who raised corn and picked cotton. Keep singing their songs so they won't be forgotten. The Underground Railroad that passed through at night, the signs and conductors that guided slaves' flight. Remember the soldiers who fought long through they knew they might not be free. When the battle was through, remember the old souls who handed down tales, the bold women and men who blazed their own trails. from the south to the north, from farm to large to big city, with satchels and dreams and no use for self-pity. Remember the boot blacks who made old shoes shine, the industrial laborers who manned factory lines. Remember the housemaids who scrubbed dirty floors, the leaders who spoke out to open closed doors. Remember the hard way the ancestors came, snatched from the motherland, bound in iron chains. Remember the voyage, the capture, the chase, young warriors who vanished without even a trace. Remember the ocean, much too vast to span, long shadows on shorelines and footprints in sand. Forget me not the glory of Africa's past, the temples and riches that to this day last. Bronze baskets and mudcloth, pyramids of stone, ebony statues and bracelets of bone. The journey continues. The bridge still holds strong. Hands reach across water. Hearts sing a new song. And that's Remember the Bridge. The next piece is entitled The Slave Storyteller. Gather round me, children. Behold my native land. Dream with me of Africa, the map drawn on my hand. We'll chart the course through memories, reveal the roots of man. Deep within a forest where the drumbeat first began. Remember there was music, or even spoken word, when the only songs sung were the melodies of birds. When man turned his ear inward, a heart beat what he heard. He felt its pitter-patter, flood of pulse and pound. He moved to its rhythms, throbbing, thumping sound. From a hollow tree trunk, a tribesman carved a drum, stretched high across his head, and rapped it with his thumb. The drum echoed through the trees. Tribes call out ancient chants. The village leaped with glee in a ritual of dance. And that's The Slave Storyteller. All right, I'll share a bit from My People by Margaret Walker Alexander. And I remember Dr. Alexander from Jackson State University when she taught there. So, for my people everywhere, singing their slave songs repeatedly, their dirges and their ditties, and their blues and jubilees, praying their prayers nightly to an unknown God, bending their knees humbly to an unseen power. For my people, lending their strength to the years, to the gone years, and the now years, and the maybe years, washing, ironing, cooking, scrubbing, sewing, mending, hoeing, plowing, digging, planting, pruning, patching, dragging along, never gaining, never reaping, never knowing, and never understanding. For my playmates in the clay and dust and sand of Alabama, backyards playing, baptizing and preaching and doctor, and jail and soldier and school and mama and cooking, and playhouse and concert and store and hair and Miss Shomby and company. For the cramped, bewildered years, we went to school to learn, to know the reason why and the answers to and the people who and the places where and the days when. In memory of the bitter hours when we discovered we were black and poor and small and different and nobody cared and nobody wondered and nobody understood. For the boys and girls who grew in spite of these things to be man and woman, to laugh and dance and sing and play and drink their wine and religion and success, to marry their playmates and bear children and then die of consumption and anemia and lynching. For my people throwing 47th Street in Chicago and Lenox Avenue in New York and Rampart Street in New Orleans, long disinherited, dispossessed, and happy. People filling the cabarets and taverns and other people's pockets and needing bread and shoes and milk and land and honey and something all our own. For my people walking blindly, spreading joy, losing time, being lazy, sleeping when hungry, shouting when burdened, drinking when hopeless, tied and shackled, and tangled among ourselves by the unseen creatures who tower over us ominously and laugh. For my people blundering and groping and floundering in the dark of churches and schools and clubs and societies, associations and councils and committees and conventions, distressed and disturbed and deceived and devoured by money-hungry glory, craving leeches, preyed on by facile force of state and fad and novelty, by false prophet and holy believers. For my people standing, staring, trying to fashion a better way, from confusion, from hypocrisy and misunderstanding, trying to fashion a world that will hold all the people, all the faces, all the Adams and Eves and their countless generations. Let a new earth rise. Let another world be born. Let a bloody peace be written in the sky. Let a second generation full of courage issue forth. Let a people loving freedom come to growth. Let a beauty full of healing and a strength of final declension be the pulsing in our spirits and our blood. Let the marital songs be written. Let the dirges disappear. Let a race of men now rise and take control. And I believe I read all of that piece for my people. Margaret Walker Alexander says in her biography that she wrote this poem for my people based on stories that were told to her as a child. And that was For My People by Margaret Walker. So today, again, I want to thank you all for listening and watching. Be safe, mask, take care of yourselves, stay healthy, speak up with dignity, pray for peace and justice. I hope you will have a safe July 4th weekend. I want to also say happy birthday to my sister. And please don't forget to pray for my mother. I love you. And again, I hope you have a happy weekend. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. And I will see you on Monday. I love you. Thank you for listening and watching. And goodbye.